Hi, I'm Nick D'Agostino, and this is Pat Flynn for IWokeUpToday.com, and today we're going to be talking about sleep. Humans spend a third of their life asleep. That's crazy. A third of their life unconscious and completely open to predators. We don't really have predators nowadays because we're modern humans, but when we were primitive, we did have predators, and we were still asleep a third of our lives, completely out in the open. So why do we need sleep? What does it do for us? And what happens when our bodies fall asleep? When you're awake and you're just hanging out, relaxing, maybe you're doing some light reading, talking to a friend on the phone, cooking dinner for you and the kids, your brain is emitting what's called alpha waves. Now these waves cycle at 10 cycles per second. This is what happens when you go about your normal daily life. But when your brain is really concentrating really hard on a subject, maybe you're studying for a test or filing your taxes, or dialing the phone as fast as you can, calling American Idol to vote for your favorite performer, and your brain is emitting what's called beta waves, and these cycle at 20 cycles per second. So it's like your brain is working harder and like giving off more fume. It's just coming out of you. So when you fall asleep, when you first fall asleep, your brain is still emitting these alpha waves at 10 cycles per second. But about 40 minutes into that, you're going to drop down into a deep sleep, and your brain will emit what's called delta waves. Now these waves move so slowly that it's 3.5 cycles per second. It's an incredibly slow, incredibly large wave. So this is what happens when you're in a really deep sleep. And when you're in this deep sleep, scientists believe that this is where your muscles begin to regenerate and rebuild themselves. And they also believe that this is where you really store the knowledge that you learned for the day into your memory. So after about 40 minutes of this deep sleep in delta waves, you get back to alpha waves, but your body doesn't wake up. You go into what's called REM sleep. And it's called REM, which stands for rapid eye movement, because your eyes, they dart around all crazy. And this is where you do most of your dreaming. It turns out these are the dreams that we remember the most. These dreams in rapid eye movement are crazy. The plots are bizarre. You know, you could be chasing elephants, doing all crazy things that you wouldn't normally do in your daily life. The craziest thing about sleep is what happens when we don't get sleep. After one day, we become really cranky. I'm sure everybody kind of knows what that's like. I'm sure we've all had one of those days where we didn't get as much sleep as we wanted to. Maybe we only had a couple hours, and we wake up, we're all cranky. After 2 days of not sleeping, we become a little bit disoriented, and we start to lose a little bit of the memory of what happened the day before. After 3 days of not sleeping, we fall into delirium. Now, delirium is crazy. Delirium is crazy.
What is delirium?
I don't know. That's why I just repeated it twice. Pat, how long have you ever gone without sleeping? I bet you it wasn't as long as this next guy we're going to talk about. The longest amount of time anybody has ever gone without sleeping is 18 days, 21 hours, and 40 minutes. And he did this. He was staying awake because he was in a rocking chair competition. This is completely counterintuitive to me because the only thing I want to do when I'm in a rocking chair is fall asleep. Ducks, who are at risk of predators, can actually balance survival and falling asleep. They could split their brain in half, and half of their brain could fall asleep while the other half stays up watching for survival. This is the coolest thing I've ever heard about ducks. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like it on Facebook. Send it out to your friends through the interwebs and Twitter and your Hotmail account. And, you know, if you find out any cool things about sleep, if you have any interesting stories about sleep, leave those comments down below. We'd love to hear about them. We're pretty interested in this ourselves. So, thanks again. Don't forget to learn you're human, and take care. An odd fact about sleep, some people could sleep with their eyes open, not just Marines.